Welcome to another expedition with the Lower Michigan Sasquatch Research Team. Today we venture deep into the heart of the wilderness, a realm where towering trees cast long shadows and the whispers of the wind carry tales as old as time itself. Our subject, the elusive Sasquatch, a creature often relegated to the realm of myth and folklore. For years, whispers have echoed through these mountains, stories told by seasoned climbers and intrepid hikers, their voices hushed with a mixture of awe and terror. Tales of encounters with a being of immense size and strength, a creature that moves with an uncanny silence, leaving behind only a fleeting glimpse and a lingering sense of unease. In this video, titled True Stories of Mountain Climbers and Hikers, we delve into the first-hand accounts of those who claim to have come face-to-face with the unknown. Their stories, often met with skepticism, paint a picture of a creature deeply connected to this wilderness, a creature that is as much a part of this landscape as the ancient trees and the rugged peaks. So our first story takes us to the craggy slopes of Mount Avon, Michigan's highest peak. A lone climber scaling a challenging rock face found himself at the center of an unnerving encounter. As he struggled for purchase on the sheer granite, a deafening roar shattered the silence. Looking up, he was met with a sight that sent shivers down his spine. A hulking figure, covered in dark hair, stood on the ledge above him. The creature, clearly agitated by the climber's presence, began hurling rocks down towards him. Fear lending speed to his descent, the climber scrambled down the rock face, the sound of the creature's enraged cries echoing behind him. He never returned to Mount Avon, forever haunted by the memory of that primal encounter. The experience left him shaken, the line between myth and reality irrevocably blurred. The encounter served as a stark reminder that there are forces at play in this wilderness that we may never fully comprehend. Our next account takes us deep into the Huron Mountains, a place of dense forests and rugged beauty. A group of climbers, making their way through a particularly isolated stretch, found themselves witness to a display of raw power that defied explanation. As they navigated a narrow trail, the trees around them began to sway violently, their branches thrashing wildly as if caught in a sudden ferocious storm. Yet the air remained still. An unsettling silence descended upon the group as they watched in astonishment. The unseen force seemed to move through the trees, shaking them with a primal fury before disappearing as quickly as it had come. Shaken but unharmed, the climbers cautiously continued on their way. The experience left an indelible mark on their minds, a reminder that the wilderness holds secrets yet to be revealed. This encounter takes place amidst the rugged beauty of the Porcupine Mountains, a place of ancient forests and breathtaking vistas. A pair of climbers drawn to the challenge of the region's steep cliffs were making their way towards a secluded climbing spot known only to a few. As they navigated the dense undergrowth, they began to feel an overwhelming sense of being watched. An unsettling silence seemed to blanket the forest, broken only by the sound of their own footsteps. Suddenly a series of loud, guttural calls echoed through the trees, their source close yet unseen. The calls, filled with an unmistakable air of warning, seemed to reverberate through the very core of their beings. Unnerved by the experience, the climbers decided to abandon their plans, retreating from the secluded spot as quickly as they had come. They couldn't shake the feeling that they had stumbled upon something ancient and powerful, something that preferred to remain hidden from human eyes. Chapter 4. Whispers on the Trail. Our journey into the unknown now leads us to the well-trodden paths of the Manistee National Forest, a place where the line between civilization and wilderness blurs. An experienced hiker enjoying the solitude of a remote trail found herself at the center of a chilling encounter. As she walked, lost in her thoughts, a series of blood-curdling screams pierced the tranquil silence of the forest. Startled, she froze in her tracks, her heart pounding in her chest. Straining to see through the dense undergrowth, she caught a fleeting glimpse of a large, dark figure disappearing into the trees. Fear propelled her forward, her pace quickening with every step. She dared not look back, the memory of those chilling screams seared into her mind. The encounter served as a stark reminder that even in the seemingly familiar surroundings of a well-worn trail, the wilderness still held the power to surprise and terrify. Chapter 5. Ambush on the Trail. Our next encounter takes us deep into the heart of the Pigeon River State Forest, a vast expanse of wilderness known for its rugged beauty and unpredictable terrain. A group of hikers enjoying a day of exploration on a remote trail found themselves the target of a terrifying display of aggression. As they made their way along a narrow ridge, a barrage of rocks rained down upon them from the dense forest above. Caught off guard, the hikers scattered for cover, their shouts of alarm echoing through the trees. Peering into the dense undergrowth, they could find no sign of their attacker. Fear lending speed to their steps, the group retreated from the ridge, their peaceful hike shattered by the encounter. The experience left them shaken and bewildered, their trust in the tranquility of the wilderness irrevocably broken. Chapter 6. A Show of Force. Our journey takes us to the shores of Lake Superior, where the vastness of the lake meets the rugged beauty of the Pictured Rocks National Lakeshore. A lone hiker enjoying the solitude of a secluded stretch of coastline found himself face to face with a creature of immense power. As he rounded a bend in the trail, he was greeted by an astonishing sight. A massive figure, covered in dark hair, stood in the middle of the path, its back to him. The creature, seemingly unaware of his presence, was casually uprooting small trees and tossing them aside. Frozen in place, the hiker watched in awe and terror as the creature continued its display of raw power. After what felt like an eternity, the creature turned, its gaze meeting the hikers for a brief, heart-stopping moment. The hiker, his instincts taking over, slowly backed away, never taking his eyes off the creature. He retreated to the safety of the familiar trail, his mind racing to comprehend what he had just witnessed. As darkness descends upon the wilderness, the line between reality and imagination blurs, and the unknown seems to draw closer. Our next encounter takes us to the depths of the Hiawatha National Forest, where a group of backpackers had set up camp for the night. As the embers of their campfire glowed, casting flickering shadows upon the surrounding trees, a sense of unease settled upon the group. They couldn't shake the feeling that they were being watched. Their fears were soon realized. A series of heavy footsteps echoed through the stillness of the night, drawing closer to their campsite. Peering into the darkness, they could make out a large, shadowy figure moving slowly towards them. Panic surged through the group as the creature, illuminated by their dying firelight, came into full view. Its eyes, reflecting the firelight, seemed to burn with an intelligence that sent shivers down their spines. Our journey into the unknown continues in the remote backcountry of the Ottawa National Forest, a place where the stars seem to shine brighter and the silence of the night is broken only by the sounds of nature. A lone backpacker camped deep within the forest found himself tormented by a series of unexplained events. As darkness enveloped his campsite, strange and unsettling noises began to filter through the trees. Unearthly groans and guttural calls echoed through the stillness of the night, seeming to come from all directions at once. As the night wore on, the noises grew closer, bolder. Heavy footsteps could be heard circling his tent, their rhythm slow and deliberate. Fear gnawed at the edges of his sanity as he lay huddled in his sleeping bag, too terrified to move. Dawn couldn't come soon enough. As the first rays of sunlight pierced through the canopy, the noises abruptly stopped, leaving behind an eerie silence. Our final encounter takes us to the heart of the Huron-Manistee National Forest, a place of dense forests and hidden lakes. A group of backpackers camped on the shores of a secluded lake found themselves at the center of unsettling events. As they sat around their campfire, a series of loud, guttural calls shattered the silence. The calls, seemingly close, were filled with an air of warning. Unnerved, the backpackers scanned the tree line. Moments later, a large rock crashed through the undergrowth, landing near their campsite. Fear gripped the group as they extinguished their fire and retreated to their tents. Throughout the night, unsettling calls and rocks kept them on edge. By morning, their tormentor was gone, leaving a lingering sense of unease. These stories, collected from the depths of the Michigan wilderness, paint a picture of a creature shrouded in mystery. Are these encounters merely the figments of overactive imaginations, fueled by campfire stories and the shadows of the forest? Or do they point to a deeper truth, a glimpse into a realm where myth and reality intertwine? One thing is certain, these encounters, often terrifying, serve as a stark reminder that we are merely visitors in this wilderness. These creatures, if they exist, are its protectors, its guardians. Their actions a desperate attempt to ward off those who would encroach upon their domain. The Lower Michigan Sasquatch research team will continue to investigate these encounters, piecing together the puzzle, one story at a time. For we believe that the truth, however elusive, lies hidden within the heart of the wilderness, waiting to be discovered.